we ready?
What's up?
Terrible stories.
Yeah, it's a
Creating
news
a whole
segment
radio
right now,
experience
baby.
for you. Your host.
Hopefully everybody had a good weekend.
Motorcycle Madhouse on Spotify and iTunes.
How you guys doing, iTunes?
Gentlemen, the King.
Hail to the king, baby.
What's up, everyone? How you guys doing? Welcome to a new segment of Motorcycle Madhouse, Insane Throttle Biker News, man. Yes, we are the king of biker news, often replicated but never duplicated, let me tell ya. Or the other way around, switched it, whatever way you want to say it. But hey, a lot of freaking guys out there want to duplicate us, but they ain't nobodies. Today we got in the news, Harley Davidson, my God, are you getting woke? What are you doing? Wait till you see that article. I guess they got a self-balancing bike. Yes, Harley Davidson's getting up there in the technology right now. And boy, that's all I have to say. With their new CEO and all that type of stuff, you know, they want to focus on the more expensive bikes, which they call their core people now. You know, hey, what is it? You know, they rode off the backs of blue-collar workers their whole freaking existence, but now they want to go up for those, you know, rich boys. Well, go ahead. I don't think you're gonna succeed. That's just my personal opinion. Your sales stink, and the numbers don't lie. Also, we're going to talk about the Gypsies, man. Yes, the Jackpine Gypsies. We're going to be talking about their little issue out in Sturgis, South Dakota. Why are you guys still going to damn Sturgis, man? All they are is about the money. Money, money, money. What am I talking about? It's probably all the frickin' rubs going up there anymore anyway. And the ones that have to go up there has been around for 50 frickin' years anyway. So, you know, you can't blame them. You know, it's the thing they do. But anyway, you know, why? Don't support these people. Go to a local rally. Go to a local one. That's what I'm telling you. Go to a local rally. You'll have more fun. You don't have as many Leo out there trying to enforce stuff. You can actually see some good women doing some good stuff. You know, hand out them beads, I say. Hand out the beads. Also, a lot of motorcycle clubs got involved protecting their community. Wait till you see which ones they are. I couldn't believe it myself. One is verified. The other has a lot of stuff coming off of, you know, the internet and stuff, so you don't know if it's true, if it is, it isn't. You know, that's just the way of the world. We couldn't find anything news-wise. We found one blog doing it, so we'll present that to you and say, hey, you know, good job for protecting the community. But with that, let's get into the news right now. Okay, here's the one I was telling you about. Before we go on, though, don't forget, tomorrow over on HarleyLiberty.com, I do an op-ed about what's going on in Chester, and what I can say is,
I'm gonna get medieval on your asses.
oh, yes, I am. Boy, do I tear in them, boy. Anyway, Jackpine Gypsies say they will refer annexation to a vote. This by Deb Howland of the Black Hills Pioneer. Everybody knows that the Jackpine Gypsies is huge in Sturgis, and what city of Sturgis wants to do is annex their property into the city. Yes, they going after that money, you know. Plus, they want to do this, I believe, for future development. So they annex this into the city, then eminent domain, blah, blah, blah. Quote. No, let's not quote. Let's go to Sturgis here. A public war of words has ensued between the Jackpine Gypsies Motorcycle Club and the city of Sturgis. And the reason why they're so, brave, the city council, is because they know every year you'll come. You'll spend the millions of dollars. They know it. So why don't we take a lesson about everything that's going around this country right now and do the same thing? How about we boycott Sturgis? Don't go! Show them who is in charge. Help the Jackpine Gypsies out here. Will it happen? Probably not. Club members, through their attorney, have vowed to refer their recent annexation by the city Sturgis of council to a public vote. The council voted 7-1 to annex the Gypsy Club grounds located off of Moose Drive and Short Track Road west of Interstate 90 in Sturgis. The yes vote on the resolution means that the annexation goes into effect in 20 days after its legal publication, but opponents such as the Gypsies have within that 20 days to gather signatures and petition the city to put the issue to a public vote. Go guys, get it on there, get them voting, man. Quote, it is the club's intent that if you approve this resolution, they will refer the matter to the voters. That's who should be making this kind of decision anyways, the voters. And I guarantee the voters, they're probably going to side with the Gypsies, man, because if it wasn't for them, you guys wouldn't be having them millions of dollars. That's not intended as a threat. Well, I would. That's to give you a heads up. Kellen Willert, a Belforche attorney representing the Jackpine Gypsies, told city council members prior to the vote. Willard said petitions began circulating Thursday. Additionally, she said the club has questions about the legal adequacy of the city's notices that were served throughout the process. Areas to the north and south of the Gypsies' 47 acres are already included in the Sturgis city limits. Since the issue surfaced earlier this year, the Gypsies have placed signs along their property letting people know that the right-of-way along Moose Drive was donated by the club in 2003. I bet they wish they didn't do that. A second sign reads, in 2020, the Sturgis city manager says we need to pay our fair share to use it. And then a third sign tells people, you're welcome. Please be safe. City officials say they want to annex the property to accommodate the orderly growth and development of the city. That's a hint, guys. Hint. You cannot be nice to a government. They will always bend you over, tell you to, grab your ankles. That's the way they are. Quote, nowhere under your developmental framework does annexation this property become justified. At the first public hearing on the resolution of intent to annex the Gypsies property, club members Jim Paisley and Brett Winslow told the council they were concerned that annexing the club grounds, which includes a dirt oval racetrack, motocross, and hill climb course, may fall under present or future city restrictions on continuing those activities. The city government, all they want is the power. We've been seeing that lately. 2020 has been, a year that is showing what government really is about, man. Hopefully people wake up. In a slide presentation prior to the vote, Sturgis City Attorney Greg Bernier highlighted some areas of the proposed development agreement between the city and the Jackpine Gypsies. It specifically stated that races of all sorts, including flat track motorcycle racing, motocross, go-kart, and ATV racing, along with other activities, could continue at the site. Oh, it's not even your property yet, and you're giving freaking orders here. You can continue. Sturgis City Manager Danielle Ainsley said the council is not expecting the Gypsies to transform the property into a housing subdivision or other development. Here's what I say. I know you schlucks ain't gonna not go to Sturgis. God forbid that, you help somebody out that's in the biker community. Why don't you do this? Why don't you guys get on the phone with the city of Sturgis and tell them this is a no-go? We will not support you with this. You go against the Gypsies, we go against you. Our dollars, it's just like Congress, man. They got the power of the purse. You bikers have the power of the purse. Let them know that. Quote, the city's intention is not to make them make any changes to their property. In the proposed agreement, it wasn't to force them to do anything different. We would allow them to see their property. We would allow them to continue to operate as they are, just ensuring that there is dust migration and things. Oh my God, look at that. Oh, here we go. It's the freaking environmental freaks. Quote, I don't know. Willard also told the city council he has questions about the adequacy of the notice of intent to annex and the council's rationale for the action. You owe it to everyone to articulate why an annexation is appropriate. In the end, the council voted to move forward with the annexations. Remember, voting for the annexations were. Here's somebody, you know what? Get on the Sturgis City website and get Terry Kessler, Mike Bankand, Dave Martinson, Becca Zerps, Jason Anderson, Steve Kessler, and Mayor Mark Cardison. Make sure you raise hell with these people. Raise hell with them. And then give a celebration to council member Ray Crane, who voted against it. City council member Ron Waterland, a former Jackpine Gypsies club member who at the time sued the club, abstained from the voting. Well, there you go. The Jackpine Gypsies is one of the oldest AMA chartered off-road clubs in the country. They chartered in 1937. The club is credited with hosting the first Sturgis motorcycle rally in 1938. The ones who brought all the millions upon millions of dollars are the ones getting bent over by the freaking government that they helped build. Go figure. Let's go to this next article is pretty cool, man. Lindsay Holden of San Luis Obispo SLO County Motorcycle Clubs guard businesses at protests, but police say they don't need to help. Well, go figure. Yeah, right. Anyway, San Luis County has seen nearly a week of anti-racism and police brutality protests, and members of motorcycle clubs had made their presence known. Motorcyclists wearing colors, jackets, and vests indicating affiliations with Vagos. Rock on, Vagos! Moloch and Gold Coast Wheelers clubs could be spotted lining the streets of Paso Robles and San Luis. Oh, rock on, man. While the protesters marched by and chanted the name of George Floyd, a black man who died in Minneapolis, for more than 8 minutes, cop knelt on his freaking neck. Everybody knows that one. Some motorcyclists sported large hunting knives on their belts, and some parked their bikes diagonally in front of local businesses. The groups claim that they were on hand to protect shops and storefronts from community concerns about vandalism and looting. Yeah, that's everywhere. Quote, our goal behind the whole thing is we don't want people to destroy the shops in our town, said Byron Posey, a Vagos member. Rock on, Brian, rock on. But police officials say they don't need assistance from civilians who haven't received any law enforcement training. What started all this thing? What started this? A guy kneeling on somebody's neck. You're talking about law enforcement training? Get out of here. You're just schlucks. The county has not experienced any vandalism connected to anti-racism protests. Well, you know, that's because they're there. You don't mess with freaking Vagos or any of them. On Monday night, a group of juveniles broke 7 windows at 3 businesses. I thought they didn't need the help over there, the cops say. Unfounded fears of community destruction have run rampant on social media. Business owners in Pasa have boarded up their windows in anticipation of protest. During an anti-racism march in Grover Beach, men stood on the roof of Pitt Martial Arts and Fitness holding guns. Rock and roll, that's what I'm saying, rock and roll. And wearing tactical vests. The gym owner claimed the men were serving as visual deterrent. That's what needs to be done here. From vandalism, Posse said the Vagos members who stood outside county businesses during demonstrations aren't trying to cause trouble or make people feel uncomfortable. He said they would try to prevent vandalism if they see it about to occur, but stopped short of saying they would resort to violence. Posey said he hoped us just being there would be enough to deter people from attacking businesses. That's what I say. Rock and roll. Hell yeah, man. There's another interesting thing. Here it is. Law enforcement and motorcycle clubs. Lewis said he understands some of the motorcycle club members guarding businesses are well-intentioned, but their presence is a double-edged sword because it creates unpredictability for police officers in an already tense situation. Quote, "We have a purpose," Lewis said of police. "It's to build trust in the community and keep the community safe." Well, that's what motorcycle clubs do. If you're ever around a clubhouse, especially in the bad part of the city, you will see that block is safe. Quote, he says, "All is good in Paso," he wrote. "It ended peacefully. I had 30 deputies, command, and supervisors assisting. Great job, blah, blah, blah." But, the sheriff did not have contact with the motorcycle groups, a sheriff's office spokesman, when asked about the post. I bet the citizens would say they were more safe with the Vagos than you Leos. Guaranteed. Now, here's a report that everybody's been asking about, and this is the only place I've really found it. It's called the nationalfile.com. And again, this is the only place I found it because there's a lot of rumors out there. Antifa chased out of town by Hell's Angels. Biker, they say gangs, but biker clubs reportedly converged to prevent them from protesting in a California town. This by Lionel Duquesne. According to various reports on social media, again, this is coming from social media, several biker, coalesced to prevent a demonstration from taking place in Placerville, California. Then it talks about how it started, blah, blah, blah. Then there's a tweet that Antifa is threatening the town of Placerville, California. They said if anyone stands in their way, there will be consequences. So Hell's Angels and the Mongols have accepted the challenge. Again, if you guys got real, proof on this stuff, let me know. Send it in, because those two clubs right there, it's unheard of right now. Unheard of, well, here you go. But it's so awesome. Hell's Angels and Mongols team up against a common enemy. Not sure if this has been shared today or not. Antifa threatens Placerville, California. I guess they chickened out or something, but here is the posts that were on there. So, this is an old picture. Another post reporting the cancellation garnered 5.7 reposts. So, yeah, a lot of you guys have been asking about this. So this is the only thing that I found on it. It's a little fishy, and unless you can get some verification on this, guys, especially with those two clubs being mentioned. Now, let's go to 10 minutes from where I'm from. These schlucks. The Wall of Shame. 2 officers relieved of police powers amid an investigation into the arrest at Brickyard. This came from the FBI, said it's looking into the violent arrest that was captured on video. The Brickyard's an awesome place. You know what? I really like the Home Depot over there. It's better than wherever I was freaking out here. But it's a great place, man. Back in the day, it used to be an in one, but now it's an outdoors one. And 2 officers involved in arrests outside Chicago's Brickyard Mall have been relieved of their police powers pending an investigation. Chicago Police Superintendent Dave Brown said, yeah, our CBPD guys out here, man. You know what? You want to talk about the pinnacle of freaking corruption. Come spend a couple days in Chicago with the cops. The announcement comes after the FBI said it's looking into the violent arrest that was captured on video. The Cook County State's Attorney, yeah, she's another schluck. She's the one who let that one guy off. Office has launched an investigation into possible criminal charges related to the incident at Brickyard Mall. Our office is in, and this is Attorney Kim Fox. She's a schluck. She's a schluck at the highest degree. Our office is in communication with the attorney representing the family in the case and also working with the FBI, which has started their own investigation. It's funny, you idiots tore that place up. Fox clarified that the charges against the woman who was arrested were municipal ordinance charges filed by the city and not prosecuted by her office. Why would you? You don't prosecute anything anyway. The incident unfolded on Sunday while bystanders recorded cell phone video at the Brickyard Mall in Chicago's Belmont-Cragen neighborhood. It's actually an awesome freaking neighborhood, man. Good food, too. The video appears to show multiple officers swarm a vehicle in the parking lot, break the car's windows, and pull out several people. Mia Wright, an essential worker, said after she was thrown to the ground, the officer put his knee on her neck. See, that's training that you idiots were talking about in the last freaking article? Come on, man. Quote, all I thought about was what was happening or happened to George Floyd. It could have been another situation. Chicago police officers observed her with 3 others assemble for the purpose of using force or violence to disturb the peace. Wright denies she did anything wrong and claims police had the wrong person. She was also taken to the hospital after she said she was detained for 18 hours. Quote, if the individual tried to speed off, that's a different story, but we all saw the video. They didn't try to run, family attorney Nate Each said. Why use that kind of force if you're not trying to provoke fear and chaos? The Civilian Office of Police Accountability recommended Superintendent David Brown take action against the officers in the case. Mary Lori Lightfoot. Yeah, Beetlejuice. She's a schluck and a half, that mayor. It's no wonder Chicago's like it is right now. It's because of schlucks like her. Declined to weigh in on the incident. Oh, I'm surprised. You're running for a camera any other freaking time. But for the wall of shame, we don't actually got the officer's name. We're just putting the entire department of Chicago in the wall of shame, man. You know, how's it feel? You do that to motorcycle clubs. You brand everybody, you know, this big thing. How's it feel? That's all I have to say. Now to our main story out of Cycle World. This is a really freaky year, man. It just shows you how us old timers, man, are looking back and really missing the past. A self-balancing Harley Davidson, Milwaukee's innovative ideal would target old and new riders alike. They're, you know, trying to help out with the older guys because that's their main business, Harley. By Ben Purvis. Harley Davidson's problems have had plenty of publicity in recent months, but they largely boil down to 2 factors: an aging fan base and difficulty attracting new buyers. Very much the same for all motorcycling. You're liar, pants on fire. You got the Japs, the British, the Germans all doing good. Indians really getting up there. It's just Harley Davidson. It really is. If you look at it, their sales are like down the last 4 or 5 freaking years while everybody's on an uptrend. Some criticism of Harley has been ill-deserved. After all, despite the company's staid reputation, it's a leading light in some areas of technology. Are you smoking too much 420, buddy? Including electric bikes? Really? You have Zero that owns that sector. Harley Davidson don't come near Zero. But it's also clear that the type of heavyweight cruiser and tours make up a big slice of the firm's profit margins, have problems appealing to no voices, and aren't easy practice for the oldest of motorcyclists. Their sheer size and weight, which is part of their attraction for some, mean they can be hard to handle, particularly at low maneuvering speeds. But what if Harley created a form of rider assistance system that eliminated the possibility of an embarrassing low-speed tip-over? And that's precisely what this new patent is intended to address. Yes, they came up with this. The firm's ideal, as revealed in this new patent application, again, if you're over on the radio, come over and you'll see the patent application right here, has drawn of a bike with all the, you know, numbers and all that stuff. is to add a gyroscope to help maintain balance when stationary and at walk-in speeds, bolted into a standard-looking tour pack top case. This isn't the sort of micro-electromechanical gyro that forms the basis of modern inertial measurement units in many new sports bikes. Instead, it's a traditional spinning mascot gyro, the sort that was used for guidance on the Apollo moon missions. Well, that's Harley Davidson. Their technology, you're talking about technology. The Apollo, that's the 60s, you dork. And effectively a scaled-up version of a seemingly gravity-defying children's toy. The gyroscope itself is made up of a heavy flywheel spun to between 10 and 20,000 RPMs by an electric motor mounted in a gimbal that during normal riding allows it to freely move in both the roll and pitch. That means apart from some additional weight, it doesn't influence the bike's behavior. That's to be seen. At low speeds, below around 3 miles an hour, the gyroscope comes into action as a balancing aid. A clutch engages, locking the gimbal's roll axis to a lever connected to a computer-controlled linear actuator. That gives the computer the ability to tilt the spinning mass from side to side, creating a force that influences the entire bike. Tip sensors also mounted in the top case register when the bike starts to lean to one side, and the computer and actuator work to compensate for that lean. It takes relatively little force to do this, provided it's applied before the bike has started to lean too far. So the small movements applied to the gyroscopes are enough to allow the bike to self-balance. For a novice rider who wants a Harley Cruiser but doesn't have years of experience to draw on, shouldn't be on that bike in the first place, then, if you ask me. That's a potentially huge benefit. No, that's letting the rider get overconfident to think the thing's going to work for them. And next thing you know, they're splattered all over the damn road. What the hell's wrong with you, Harley Davidson? Okay, before I begin my final thoughts, don't forget to go over to HarleyLiberty.com for your daily biker news. Subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. And you can listen to us on the Madhouse over on Spotify, Amazon, Alexa, Apple, and the rest of them. We're all over the place. So, what do you guys think about this self-balancing bike? I don't like it. I don't think it's going to do, it's probably going to add another 10 grand onto their damn bike. The problem is Harley Davidson, they lost their core customers, which is the blue collars. There's no way that this new fantastic obvious plan to fail from this new CEO about going after the people that have the big money and selling fewer bikes that is going to help the company. He's a shoe salesman, for Christ's sakes. And what is it with Harley? They can never get anybody who actually knows the lifestyle, actually knows their customers. It's always like that with them. They're sitting there whining and crying, blah, blah, blah. I think they'd rather do volume than just go after the high price ones, man. Make a bike, make your prices where a regular schmuck can freaking buy one, and maybe you'll see some volume turning out at those factories. But no good, man. No good what's going on with Harley Davidson. That's just me. But isn't it fantastic to see the clubs out there protecting the community? We always talk about that. We always say that if you see a clubhouse, you can guarantee that it's pretty damn safe around that clubhouse, at least within that block. Nobody screws around because the club takes care of the neighborhood, man. The cops never take care of the neighborhood. Actually, they're glad when the clubs move in. That way, they don't have to do their job. They can go down to the Dunkin' Donuts and do what they got to do. But it's awesome seeing them in the community. But I hate the hypocrisy. I really do. Well, they don't got enough training. Well, you got cops putting knees on people's necks all over the country, and you wonder why it's blown up right now. Regardless of the politics of that crap, what happened to that dude was messed up. And for you guys to be out there talking about, they don't have the training. Yeah, well, your training's what set this country on fire, it looks like, man. Just saying. As far as the gypsies, man, you guys really need to get involved, man. Give these people a call or email them. Let some frustration out. Because it ain't right that they built the Sturgis rally, and now you got the city coming back trying to take over their crap. That ain't cool, man, but that's government in these days and ages. 2020 is really showing everybody what they're all about, and that's why it's important to really, really start getting involved in stuff. It really is. So check out all of us going on over at Spotify, iTunes, all that good stuff. Really appreciate all the support. You guys are rocking and rolling, man. Really appreciate it. You guys, it's summer. Make sure you guys are safe. I'll check out the rallies, see what's on, what's not on, and all that stuff. But it's kind of scary going to some big rallies and stuff if you have underlying health issues and stuff. So we'll see. But with that, I'll talk to you guys later. Be strong.
I said goodbye, vamoose, adios, ciao, so long, get your hat jacked.
#1 internet biker radio show is now available on Spotify and all major platforms, including iHeartRadio, iTunes, Stitcher, and more. Don't forget to become a subscriber on any one of these platforms so you can be notified right away when our weekly episode is uploaded so you never miss an episode.
Hi, this is James Hollywood Machikari. Join our YouTube channel and get Motorcycle Madhouse and tons of videos related to the bikers. Join now by subscribing for free and become part of the Throttle today. Always free and always entertaining. Don't forget to visit us at www.harleyliberty.com for your daily biker news. Rock on!